Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to search up nearpod.com, and I'm starting off at Google. So all you would have to do is type in Nearpod or go to nearpod.com. It is the first link that pops up, and this is the home page that you'll be met with once you go in. So there's a couple things to notice here, that when you're going to send your students to log in, when they access nearpod.com, there's a enter code option right here, but we're going to be signing in as the teacher right now. So I'm going to sign in here, and if you're new to the site, you can enter to create your free teacher account here, and students could also enter their code to join a session or a lesson right here as well. So you have this option right here, and you also have this option on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in, and I believe I'm going to use my APU account. So as soon as this loads, so as you can see, you could have your own email address, sign in, you could log in with Google, or you could actually log in with Office 365. I'm going to log in with Google, and I have a couple of accounts here, so I'm going to log in with this one right here, my APU account. And once I log into my APU account, I want to let you know that as a teacher or a free account holder, you can access most features, or if you want, you could upgrade to a gold or platinum to access those additional features, and I'll kind of go through those right now. But it's all free to use. So let's see, I have my account here. We could look at my library really quick. I have a couple of lessons in here that I've used or created. I've had to delete some because since this is a free one, I don't have a lot of space on here. A good one to go through would be this one, and as you can see, I could either start a live session of my Nearpod, or I could do a student paced. Although I believe because I have the free account, I cannot do a student paced one. So if I click on it, it will tell me right now. So see, this is a premium feature, and I would need to either upgrade now or not right now. So let me walk through. Let's go back to Explore. So see, this is how I get back to my home page. Library, Explore, and I could create my own here. Let's go back to Home. That's where we just came from right now. Let's go Explore so you can see the library worth of material that's in here. I have a couple of them. Let's see. I've gone through this a couple times. Yes, some of them you have to pay for, but you could also find some really good free ones that you can manipulate yourself. So if we look through here, they have top lessons, and they have it spread out by category if you're interested in looking for a specific category. Here's a good one on digital citizenship, something we've been learning about through our courses. I could also look up with the filters. I could search specifically here, or I could look through the free ones that they offer. And then I could go through subjects, or I could just search all lessons. I'm going to search all, that way you guys could see. So we have a couple of different free ones here, as you can see, editing and revising, welcome back to school. These are created by Nearpod, so you see this little circle. That's created by them. Here's a free Nearpod one about ELA and math, and it tells you the grade level. So you want to find something that's age appropriate for your students, or create one that's age appropriate for your own. The important thing I want to go through really quick is just going through a Nearpod. So if I go to my library, I want to do a live session of this one right here, What's Inside a Tree Trunk. This is grades 1 through 4. This could be a science lesson. But as you can see right here, it's loading up really quick. You're going to get a class code, which you're going to share with your students. So you can either email this to them, share it on Google Classroom, or you could just write it up on the board and have students go to nearpod.com to access this. Okay, so after they type in their code, they're going to be greeted by a screen that looks kind of like this. So I'm going to switch out really quick so you can see the student end of what it looks like. Okay, so I signed into my Google Chrome browser, and now I'm going to go back to the Nearpod page. I'm going to pretend I'm a student, and I'm going to enter the code that you just saw previously. So XPZVD. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter that. And then right now you're going to see that the first option that the students are going to see or get is a screen that's a welcome screen, and it's going to ask them for their nickname or their name. Have them put their first name and last name, or first name and then last initial, and then maybe right here could be an ID number. ID number, like STEM student number 1, okay, or class number 1. Then it's going to send this to the teacher, and then they're going to be in control whether to move this screen or not. So let me go back to the teacher screen. Here's the teacher screen. So now I'm ready to move forward. So this is the teacher one. If I'm ready to move forward, I'm going to go ahead and move on with the slides. This one's a pre-made one, so it gives me an introduction. What I want you guys to notice too is down here, it tells me how many students are in my class, their name, and what their class number or ID is. I could decide to remove them or kick them out if they put anything inappropriate in here and have them try it again. Then I could close this. I could see right here all the slides that we're going to be going through. I could skip some if I want. I could also show student names right here. If I keep on going, I just want to go through this briefly since this presentation isn't too long. But as you can see, we can start teaching a lesson, have visuals up for the students. But all of this is happening. Watch, let me go back to the student one. The student is being led. The student cannot do anything to move this screen. So this is a teacher-paced lesson. They cannot be distracted by moving forward or going back. It's a whole class instruction for this piece. So the teacher one again. I'm going to move forward, and you can see as this is our first activity. This is very interactive because you could include an activity that allows students to, for example, use text, drawing, and image search tools to make predictions about the inside of a tree trunk. Maybe I want students to draw what the inside of a tree trunk looks like. This is very cool because students can explore this content through not only images or like typing, but they could also take polls, and there's mini quizzes that you could include. But imagine all the possibilities because we have different multiple intelligence learners. This, I believe, is a great tool for them to use, and it's also a quick reference or a quick assessment that you could gain. So let me go back to the student one. So you see right here, it asks the same question. I could hide the question, or I could pull it down. I could use these tools down here. So this is the pencil tool. There's also a highlighter tool. So I could just click the highlighter, how big I want to highlight. Go back down. I could write text. I could enter, different things there. I could search Google Images or browse my own files on my device to include maybe part of my response. I could also erase, if I didn't like what I did. Have the eraser going there. Erase it right there. I believe the text, you have to click on it again and then delete it. Click on it and delete. Or like I said, just go ahead and have the student draw what they think the inside of a tree trunk looks like, okay? Once they're done, they go ahead and send their answer over, and it's going to tell them that, I've received it. They'll be waiting here until it's time to move on. Let me go back to the teacher one. Teacher receives it, so I could go ahead and if I click on this, I could decide, oh look, I could zoom in and look at it. I could also decide whether to share this. So once it's being shared, watch, let me go back to the teacher account. Once it's shared, then all the students can see one student's response. And this is this is real good because this allows for interactive brainstorms or discussions in real time for students. And, you know, some of those students that are stuck can get a new idea and maybe could do their own thing, or even if they're, per se, copying, but at least, you know, they gathered that information. Now they have new background knowledge to work with. So if we go here, I could decide to unshare. Then I could go ahead and close and move on. And for time's sake, I'm going to kind of just move through this quickly. This, I believe, is a poll or short answer. Type in my short answer again, send, and then go back to the teacher one. I have no answer so far, but I just sent it. See, it takes a little bit for it to pop up. It tells me the percentage of my class that has participated, and then I can move forward. So, as we can see, this is actually, I mean, pretty interesting and pretty engaging for students who, you know, for the most part are non-engaged and, you know, need that extra visual or like boost to like do different things besides pencil and paper. So this goes along with the SAMR model, and I believe it truly defines what redefinition of the SAMR model is, because it's something that we weren't capable of doing before, and yet with technology and all these devices, we do have it. I'm going to go ahead and move forward just so you can see a little bit more. So it's a good explanation through all this. Circling the part of the pith of the tree trunk. Let's see what else we have. A little review at the end. And I believe this is a fill in the blank. The student one has the words scattered, and their job is to grab one and put it in the right place and submit it when they're done. The other thing you could do is, you know, end with a thank you for participating. Like I said, this is a great tool, and once you're done, you know, you have a list of activity reports. Some activity reports that you have. Let's see. When I am done with this, I could go ahead and sign out. And let me show you back when I get to the teacher page. Alright, once I get back to my home page, if I wanted to look up any reports, I have a clear piece of information that I could gather. So let's see. So with the reports, I could look at any sessions that I've created previously. So I did this one down here with a 3rd grade class. I did this one just right now. Let me show you the breakdown of what it includes. So it tells me, okay, I have different sessions that I started. Okay, these were test ones. This tells me how many students were in there. If I'm looking for a more specific one, for example, this one, 24 students, I could take a look at that because it has more information for me to show you. This is a quick summary of what is included. It tells me their names or their ID number that they put. It tells me what their participation level was down here. And then it also gives me a quick summary of, for example, I could check polls, open-ended questions. I could see how they responded to this specific question. How did they respond to a draw it question? I could choose one right here. How they felt like they did themselves. This is just a sample of things that you could do. You could also download a PDF version of this that students could view, or one that you could view. Yeah, but it's pretty much a great way to get students engaged into their learning. And you know what? Nearpod offers a bunch of interactive lessons, and a lot of these lessons align with the Common Core State Standards, and they're also authored by other educators and other publishers, so it's worth taking a look into. But if you get the chance, I would suggest you do.